Hope Channel, changing lives.
Hello and good evening once again. It's another week. Yes, we thank God for giving us another week. I am glad I am alive, and I know you too, you are glad that you are alive. This week has been a very tedious week for some people, but I don't know about you. In all this, those who were traveling, I'm sure by God's grace, got to their destination safely. Those who had to go to work, children and all our family members, I'm sure by now we are all at home and we are watching Hope Channel. When we talk of Hope Channel, one very good content on Hope Channel is Love at Home. Yes, Love at Home comes to your screens every Tuesday. Love at Home, on Love at Home, we seek to discuss issues relating to family. Family, our children, our husbands and wives, and every member of this family we discussed about. So any issue bothering you, do not worry, we will discuss it. For the month of September, we've been discussing temperament. Yes, I guess, have you asked yourself why you behave the way you do sometimes? Try and ask that same question to your wife or your husband or even your children. That is why in this month we are discussing temperament. Let me also remind you that we are live on Hope TV, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and our WhatsApp lines are also opened. That is 0559 680066. My name is Efia Sewa Mansa. Let's go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I will introduce my guest to you. Stay tuned.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church Ghana presents The Coming King, a 10-day Bible lecture series from the 12th to 22nd of October 2022, 6:30 p.m. each night.
There is a coming King who has answers to all our challenges and cares in this life. You may have your doubts, but that is why I'm inviting you to join us in the Bible lecture series, where we believe to find answers to our challenges, and your life will not be the same. God bless you.
The Coming King, a 10-day Bible lecture series, live from 12th to 22nd of October 2022, 6:30 p.m. each night.
Only on Hope Channel Ghana and all Seventh-day Adventist churches in Ghana.
Hello, you are welcome back. Yes, you are watching Love at Home. Last week, we discussed temperament, and we looked at the sanguine and then the choleric. I'm sure you took so many lessons from it, and now you know where you belong. If you still haven't found out, we are continuing. So today, we are looking at the melancholic, the phlegmatic, and let's say there's a new one. Do you know? Wait, you get to know. On this note, let me quickly go to my guests and introduce them to you. I have the sweet Lydia Ejay Boateng. He's an HR practitioner. Mommy Lydia, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I am fine, by God's grace. I am fine. I am fine. I am fine. Thanks so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Then we also have our senior lecturer, Pastor Yi Kwei at Valley View University. Pastor, good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, this is your smile.
And yes. I mean, the world must know that there is a man called Ikwe.
Oh, you today too.
I'm excited anytime I see myself.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. I think we all need to learn that. He says he's excited anytime he sees himself.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
let me tell myself, Joyce, Efia, be excited anytime you see yourself. So you to say the same thing to yourself.
Sure.
Yes. So on this note, please relax. Call in your friends and your family. That time must soon. It is love at home. And let's discuss melancholic and phlegmatic. Who are they? How do we identify them? What are their special, unique characteristics that they have? How does it help us? What are some of their struggles? How can we look at these struggles and make them positive to our advantages? Mami Lydia.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is a melancholic person?
Okay, so the melancholics are classified as the introverts people when it comes to the temperament. You know, the first two we discussed last week, they are the extroverts. They always want to be seen. But the melancholics and the phlegs are introverts. They keep to themselves. They are calm people. They are quiet people. But for the melancholics, they are people that are, if I should relate it to the workplace, they are task-oriented people. So they always want to have a to-do list of the tasks they want to do.
Wow.
They always want to be busy. They cannot go a day without their tasks. And once they write their tasks down, they want to stick to it. Now, there are people who are very analytical. So they are deep thinkers. They think about issues. They try to analyze things, and then they go do it. They are also detail-oriented. So when a task is assigned to them, they pay attention to each details that goes with the task, or each details that define what they are supposed to do in life. And there are people who remember all the anniversaries, all the dates available, all the birthdays. They are intelligent people, I should say. So, and they have everything in their memory. So that is what I would say about relating to the workplace. I would say about melancholics.
Wow, thank you. Pastor, you are a lecturer.
Yes.
Tell me, who is a melancholic person?
Okay, to identify a melancholic, like she said, they are very introverted. They live their life from within themselves. And so they are quite unsociable. Again, amongst the various temperaments, they seem to have the highest IQ, that is intelligent quotient, and because of that also they are highly gifted. They are highly gifted and they have several talents. So you see, in our community, sometimes we have people that we identify them as jack of all trades, master of none. Normally, these ones are melancholics because they could do a whole lot of things. The melancholics again are visionary. They see sometimes 100 years from now.
Wow.
And so because they see way ahead of their peers or the people they live with, sometimes when they speak, they are thought of as very theoretical. In essence, what they are talking about is not within the current reality, or they are not facts that you can lay your hands on. So they say they build castles in the air, people like that. Then again, these melancholics they create very high standards, very, very high standards, so much so that they themselves cannot reach it, and others can equally not reach those standards. But the good thing about that is that whichever level they get to, it's a place par excellence. In essence, they also pursue excellence. And like my sister said, because they are detailed people, they are very critical, and they see things that others cannot see. And sometimes you present a thing to a melancholic, you might think that you've done your best, but still, there's something that must be added. I know of this example. When you give, if you give work to your class, you observe that some will get 5, and they begin to be cheering. Some will get 9, and he's not happy with the 9. It's rather looking at the one that he didn't get right. It may be 9 out of 10. The one that is 9. You must know that this is a melancholic, because in spite of their abilities and whatever, they are quite negative. So they look at what didn't go right, what didn't work for him, you know, instead of looking at the side that he has done well and has to be cheered. That is a melancholic. And they are very, very emotional as well. When I say emotional, not by way of reaction, but, you know, like she said, they are deep thinkers, very reflective. They take issues and they want to know more about it. In psychology, they call something clairvoyants, people who can mention things and as if they are predicting and it happens. You know, that is how melancholics are. If it comes to the Christian realm or in religion, they say they discern. They are discerners. They can see and talk about things as if they are real today, and yet within moments you see it happening. I mean, these are melancholics.
But Pastor, you see that sometimes we have children whom we normally see exhibiting such characteristics. Then we call them daydreamers.
Good.
What is the effect if you call such children daydreamers, and then they decide not to tell you anything? What is the effect?
Yes, normally this particular statement is normally ascribed to melancholics, you know, because the things they talk about, like I said earlier, they are not within the immediate sphere. So people think that this thing cannot be done, this cannot be done. But in reality, if you give them the chance, they will be able to do it. Because melancholics, apart from their IQ and giftedness, they are also very creative. Several of the inventors that we know about and have around, they happen to be melancholics. Whenever a melancholic speaks, he is in the realm or she's in the realm of imagination. And imaginations become realities. So though you may call it, say that the person is daydreaming, once he has seen it with his mind's eye or her mind's eye, he thinks that this can be brought into reality. And we know that most of the inventions started with imagination and discoveries started with imagination. So we could call them daydreaming, but they know it can happen. Let's not put any child down by pronouncing that this thing can be done or that thing can be done. Let's rather create space for them to be able to achieve them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Mami Lydia, what about their struggles or their challenges?
Okay, so one thing about the melancholics are that they are moody.
They are moody?
Yes.
Hey.
So this minute or they are happy, they are smiling, the next minute.
So they have the
switch. They have the mood swings.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Is what we call the mood swings. And they are difficult to convince or please because of the high standards they set for themselves.
Good.
So in the workplace, you could have bosses who that anytime you send a report, they find a mistake around it. Even though you know that you have done your best, you have done this to the best of your knowledge, they find faults with it. They are the people who would come and say, oh, the picture behind you is tilted. Can we straighten it? You understand? And they are sometimes selfish because of the high standards they have, because they want the thing to be perfect, and they are more like emotional and they want to stay in their corner or something. They tend to want it to my standard, to myself, to my standard, and not to what the standard is. But it always has to be my standard, my high standard and all that, yeah.
Then this perfectionist thing that they want to create, it will create problems for themselves. So, I mean, with them and other people, at workplace, does it happen like that?
Yes, it creates problems. So if you should have a manager that is a melancholic, you should know that it will be very difficult to convince the person. So for example, and they are creative people, so they come to the office and they have this new idea they want us to work upon. Meanwhile, we have other things we have to work upon, and then they bring this, okay, so I think we can be doing this for our staff. Can we start doing it next month? Meanwhile, we already have a plan that we are going to. So you always see that there is some kind of conflict, if I should say. and there is some kind of whatever I do, the person is not pleased with it. So I mean, I will just stay in my own corner and then do as he or she pleases for him. Then you are limiting the person you are managing. Let's say the person can do A, B, and C, which at the end of the day would make the task completed, and it will be a very good thing that has been produced or done. But because my boss is a melancholic and wants it this way, that way, that way, I am going to do it this way, that way, that way, and then I don't care what happens. So that is what happened.
Pastor, you want to add something to it?
Yeah, I think the melancholics, like she said, are difficult to please. And we might think that the positives we said about them or the strengths we mentioned, you might think that they are perfect, but they have more struggles. The melancholics do not believe in themselves as much as they have ideas and high IQ and all that. They don't believe in themselves. They have a very low self-esteem. They have skewed or wrong conception about themselves. They because of this also, they don't like the limelight. They don't want to step forward. To Frank, you need to push them to get things done. And so you would observe that the melancholics also, as much as they have what it takes to do, they will not do it. Why? Because when you do it, they will find fault about it and say that, oh, you should have done it this way and that way. So they sit back to look at what you have done and to criticize it. You know, if you are with a melancholic, they always come as second players. I mean, it helps industries. So they can look, if you have a product, or there's a product in the market, they can look at the product carefully and observe it and create something around that same product, and then you put it in the market to supersede the one that is there already. However, they would not step forward. See, they are laid back, like they are introverts, so they are laid back. They will not step forward. But when you give them the task, they will be able to do it. So basically, these are some of their struggles. You know, these are some of their struggles. And I've been saying that if melancholics actually know who they are right from the beginning, they will break the world upside down.
Wow.
But it takes time to build their self-confidence, their self-belief, to become bold, to step forward and make their statements. And so by the time they get out of that, they have created a very balanced life. So they know they have struggles and they have strengths. So it creates some balance in their life so that they'll be able to live a very humble life to finish their course.
Wow. Pastor, what career path do we see them normally pursuing? Okay,
so these melancholics, because they are creative, innovative, and also they are thinkers, they work well as lawyers. They work well as judges because they can discern. When you speak, they can discern and know where the truth lies. They work well with investigation. They work well also as people who produce documents like proposal writing and other things. And we know that they are very aesthetic, very, very aesthetic. So when it comes to fashion, when it comes to in the arts, music and whatever, they are very, very good. And because of their IQ also, they can memorize. So several of the poets, people who can craft, use words to craft and then speak, they are mainly melancholics. And like we mentioned earlier, several of the inventors that we know about, they are also melancholics. So they cut across, actually. They cut across. But the challenge is that for a melancholic to lay his or her hand on something and say that this is what I'll do for my life is a challenge. So they struggle a lot to really define themselves, say that, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. That is their challenge, actually.
Yeah, adding to that,
please do.
They are very good accounts people, accounting, finance, because they are detail oriented,
and even quality assurance.
Because and quality assurance. They are very good, and they are very good economists.
Okay.
Because they are deep thinkers. They are looking at the figures. They are analyzing things, and then they are looking at all the issues, how this will relate to this, what will the outcome be if we do A, B, and C. So those three. So you can look at, they be looking at finance, accounting, and then economists as well.
Okay, so knowing their struggles, how can they come out? For example, if I am one, how do I come out of these struggles?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is, once you know that you are one and you identify it, the good thing is that now you can come out of these struggles by learning. So, for example, I am moody. I am a melancholic and I am moody. And I always get the feedback, you are too moody, you are not smiling, today you are happy, today you are sad. It's not helping us. So I try to say, okay, then I try to, anytime that I see that I am moody, I try to smile a little. I try to come out, and then the struggle that I have with, I mean, nothing pleases me. So I try to reason with people, try to understand, okay, so you have done this. I wanted it this way. I want it this way because if we do it this way, we are going to achieve this. Yeah. If we go on this path, this is what we are going to achieve, or this is what we are going to face at the end of the day. Yeah.
Pastor, would you want to add something?
Yeah. Actually, to get even the melancholic to accept himself as having a challenge is a difficult thing.
Hey.
Yeah, it's because however you see it, he's looking beyond what you are thinking, you know. But to get out of the moodiness and all those things is a struggle, but it is possible. So some of the people, for instance, some go into teaching, you know, and the teaching, what teaching does is that it takes them out of the backstage to become a front role person. That is one of them. And you try to put the person on the stage, on the spot. You see, I'm a melancholic. I'm a melancholic. Yeah, but
good to know. Are you also one? You're also one. Oh, you know, I see. No, that's interesting.
I have some traits.
You have some traits. Okay, all right.
You know, but what is happening is that I have some friends who are basically, I'm using the word carefully, forcing me to put me on the stage. Because they know that this guy,
he can deliver.
He can deliver, but he's just sitting and watching. So sometimes if you have people like that around you, they can put you on the stage. They put you on the spot and you deliver. And once you do it, 1, 2, 3, you begin to believe in yourself. That's and good. Then you can now push and do whatever you want to do. As much as they criticize others, they hardly accept criticisms. So never think that if you try to criticize a melancholic, he knows how to rework it and put it on you.
Wow.
Yeah, because melancholics are blamers. They blame people. They make a lot of excuses. And you might think, this is good. I mean, the reasoning is good because they can think. They can think ahead of you. So you don't try to kind of say things that would put the person down. They will fight back. You know, they will fight back. So basically, you've tried to work him and put him on the stage and let him do it. Once he has done it once, twice, he begins to do it on his own and he can push.
My lovely viewer, I am enjoying myself. I hope you are also enjoying it and you are taking some key notes in that. Now, let's look at the phlegmatic. Who is a phlegmatic person?
So, phlegmatics are also introverts. But they are very quiet as compared to the melancholics. Okay. They are calm. They are very warm people. I mean, they are people everybody loves to be around with. They are very dependable people. And they are very reserved people. And in an organization, you find out that those who are very observant are phlegmatics. Because they are reserved, they always stay at the back and they watch. And then they do say, and they are also very productive. because I mean they are also analytical, and then they are also tax oriented. So I mean, you tell them A, B, C, D, and they do it for you. They are very productive in the organization, but they will not come out. They will just be in their own corner and then do their own thing and then stay there. Yeah.
So those people will be the type of people who will be sitting on the fence and be watching you do the thing. If you give it to me, I will do. If you don't give it to me, I'll sit down.
Yes, I will sit down.
Wow.
Unlike the sanguine who would be the first person to volunteer to do the job, they will just sit back and watch. They are also very intelligent people, by the way. They will sit back and enjoy it. So, for example, in the class, if a question is asked, I mean, I am one. I have that trait.
Okay, tell me more then. Tell me more.
Saying that in a class, if you should ask a question, they know, but they won't answer.
Yes.
Unless they are called.
Yes.
Or unless they see that, okay, so there's like this one I have to answer to save the class. Then the person would answer. So very observant, reserved, calm, dependable people, lovely people to be with.
Looking at this story you are telling me about, then they don't have issues, or they have issues?
Oh, they do.
They also have struggles?
Yes, they do.
Wow. Pastor, please tell me more about that.
Yes. So like she said, they are the extra introverts.
Extra?
Yeah, introverts. I mean, the melancholics can sometimes push a little bit towards the choleric, but for these ones, very reserved. And indeed, they are good planners. And because they also think, and they are good planners. Again, they are very conciliatory because they are easygoing. They want to please everybody. They want to make sure that there is peace at home, at workplace, and everywhere. As a matter of fact, flags, sometimes when they are even present, you might not notice it. You might not notice it because they want to make sure that it's about you. Yeah, for them, they are not in the picture, you see. And that is a typical flag. They have a very orderly habit. They, like I said, they plan, and whatever they are doing, they are very meticulous in whatever they do. So if you find anybody around you that would not talk much and would perform a task silently and get the result as if nothing has happened, that must be a phlegmatic.
Wow.
You know, that is the way they are built, and that is the way they do their things. Then again, we can also say that they are quite objective in the way they discuss things. So if you are telling a phlegmatic that we are buying this couch in 2 days, they want to be sure that there is everything that is showing that it is possible.
But would they ask questions?
Yeah, if they ask questions, they are proving to you that what you are talking about cannot be done. It's not possible. From what they deal with facts, you see, from what you are talking, you know, for the melancholics, their projections somehow are not real, but they believe it can be done. But these ones, they want to see what you have to show that we can get this thing, you know. But like we are all saying, they can hardly come out, you know, even if they have their doubts, they can hardly come out to say it. But if they want to state it, then you must be able to show the facts to show that this thing can be done. That is a phlegmatic.
Wow. You want to add something?
Yeah, and they are very indecisive.
Okay.
Indecisive.
Yes.
Like the melancholics as well.
They cannot take decisions instantly like the cholerics. So they will think about it, and they are warriors. When I mean they worry a lot.
Yes.
They think about all the things, all the negative things, and then it gets to them, and they are worried about things that you shouldn't even worry about. So that are phlegmatics for you.
So what interests them then, Pastor? What makes them happy?
What they know, as a matter of fact, they can hardly show whether they are happy or not happy. Hardly show whether they are happy or not happy. whether they are having pain, hurt, or not. In fact, they can swallow so much. But the point is, when they come out, it's terrible. Those are the people that...
Pastor, what do you mean when they come out?
You know, because...
You mean in the form of revenge?
Revenge.
Okay.
You know, because decision making is very difficult for them. Then also when they make decision, it's very difficult to recant, to change their mind. So you see somebody will wake up one day and say that, let me relate to even like family. We say that I'm out of this marriage. I'm out of this relationship. You might think that nothing has ever happened. The person never complained. He says or she says, I'm out. No matter what you do, the person is gone. In essence, the person has swallowed so much. So if you want to make a phlegmatic happy, it's very difficult. Because they can hardly even show when they are happy and when they are not happy. You can hardly know it. When they have money in their pocket, you will not know it. If they don't have money, you will not know it. You know, if a sangwe has money, everybody should know.
Of course.
Immediately. But for them, it's difficult to show anything like that. So it's very difficult to make them happy. Although they want to make everybody happy, want to create a harmonious situation around them.
So is it not because they do not want to hurt people? They decide to think and think and think, and that makes them more worrying or worrisome and indecisive and all that.
Yes.
That is
so
it.
you know, they are peaceful people, as Pastor said. They don't want to hurt anybody, and they want, everywhere they go, they would avoid the violence. They don't want to take risks, and they want harmony. So I want harmony. So even if somebody hurts me, I just swallow it. I accommodate all the nonsense of people. I just keep quiet. Whatever somebody does, I just keep quiet. I swallow, and then that is it. They just want to be peaceful. On person just want to be calm, quiet.
Wow.
That is it.
Now let's look at the jobs. What are they good?
Okay, so before we come to the jobs, let me mention, maybe she will deal with the jobs, so let me mention a few things.
Okay.
From what we've said so far, they are very pessimistic. They can hardly believe that something can be done when they don't have the facts. Very pessimistic. Then also, they are very selfish and stingy.
Please expatiate.
You know, stingy because, you see, if a phlegmatic has a bucket of water, and you say that this bucket of water will take us for 1 week, he or she would know how to manage it to take you 1 week. Because that is all you have. So even if somebody is dying, once he has planned, once he or she has planned and said, okay, we are going to take this and that till the week ends, you have to stick to it.
Wow.
And they are very disciplined. You have to stick to it.
Then they must be loyal.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Very, very loyal. To be frank, if you are looking for somebody to be present for you in terms of in need of people, count on the phlegmatics.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they will never disappoint you. They will never disappoint you. So probably we'll talk
Then,
about that.
Mami Lydia, they won't resign at work.
No.
Will they?
No, they won't.
They work till their kingdom come.
Yeah, they work till like kingdom
Wow.
come. And so you push them to the wall, as Pastor said. I mean, when it gets to the extreme, then they are like, okay, so I'm out. Then I'm out.
So there'll be like those people who will not rush or push themselves to be promoted to a particular area.
No.
Once they are secured at where they are, then they are comfortable.
Even if they are not satisfied with their salaries or allowances you are giving them or anything, they will just be quiet because they are comfortable. They are also fearful people, so they are afraid when they come on board, you might reject them, and probably they are afraid they will step on toes when they talk about things. So rather they will just stay.
Wow. My lovely viewer, the conversation is becoming more interesting, but we want to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to unfold so many things, so stay tuned. Thank you.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church Ghana presents The Coming King, a 10-day Bible lecture series from the 12th to 22nd of October 2022, 6:30 p.m. each night.
There is a coming king who has answers to all our challenges and cares in this life. You may have your doubts, but that is why I'm inviting you to join us in the Bible lecture series, where we believe to find answers to our challenges, and your life will not be the same. God bless you.
The Coming King, a 10-day Bible lecture series, live from 12th to 22nd of October 2022, 6:30 p.m. each night.
Only on Hope Channel Ghana and all 7-day Adventist churches in Ghana.
We want to defy our family's decision and get married or elope. I need advice. What should I do?
Please, what should I do?
How do I tell her I cheated on her months ago? I need help. What should I do?
Okay, so for me, the moment I read the story, the first thing that came to mind was, wow, knowledge is indeed power. Sometimes we go through situations because we have no knowledge of how to go about them.
If you come from a home like that, you are likely to accept anything the outsider would, direct at.
The fact that we had an interesting ceremony where a priest prayed and all of that doesn't mean that magically you have turned into something else.
If he finds his way to God, a Bible-believing church, and he goes and he wants to change, nothing is impossible.
His properties to charity and stuff?
Oh no, why? Okay, I think this is another discussion that we will not end today, so we'll not even go into it.
Real talk, showing this and every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Hello, my lovely viewer. Thanks so much. My friend, thank you for staying glued. We are back, and we were listening to our dear lady telling us more about the phlegmatic. Now, let's go to Pastor. Pastor, what career path would they decide to take?
Okay. By their nature, they have very high administrative and managerial prowess. In essence, if you put them in the area of administration, they do very well. And then again, they have leadership capabilities. However, in that case, you have to push them.
Oh, you mean the people who do not want to hurt people, anybody?
Yes.
They can do leadership
leaders.
Yes,
as well.
they can be very good leaders.
Wow.
However, you have to push them. Because, in leading, you cannot please everybody. Sometimes you, by way of certain objectives and reaching them, you might offend people, but so they don't want to do that. But when you put them there, they are the ones who are able to navigate to the extent that when you have a company that, there are sides, they are able to bring all of them together because they know how to deal with this group and that group and bring everybody together. That is their power.
Okay.
Now, another good aspect of them is that they are very good teachers. They teach very well. And normally, they teach at the basic level because they know how to treat children. And so these nuns and those things, they are very good, they are phlegmatics. They have the ability to deal with just anybody. So children running out of class and all those things, they're able to manage them. So at the basic level, these are phlegmatics. Then again, if you have a job that does not demand much of innovation or moving here and there. You know, it's something that is done. It's
Stereotype
routine.
way.
Yes, it's routine. That's why they are good with administration. It's routine. Then if you find them there, that is what they are able to do best.
Wow. Mami Lydia,
Yes.
at work, how do we see them? In
Okay.
terms of their profession and all that.
Okay, so jobs that they are good at first is my job.
Tell me more about it.
It's right there.
You mean the HR?
Yes.
HR.
Yeah. So, you know, as Pastor said, they are good at relating to people. And then they are the warm, friendly, calm people. And they want peace. So HR people are always resolving conflicts and all that. So best for HR people. And phlegmatics are meticulous.
Good.
They pay attention to details. And they are very good listeners. So doctors.
Okay.
Doctors are very good in that. And then architectures. Because they can say it and then know that we are moving from A to B. They can give you a nice and beautiful drawing. And then we also have diplomats because they are relating to people. You know, diplomats are relating to people. And phlegmatics, even though they want to stay in their own corner, have very good sense of humor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so they would like to be diplomats, meeting people, ensuring that everybody is fine. And then they are also good finance people. Because here again, they are detailed oriented. So you know the finance people would want to see the nitty gritty, the auditors. They want to come and get all the details, do the planning and everything for you. So those are some of the jobs that you find phlegmatics. And a research that was done showed that almost 80% of phlegmatics are teachers. Because it is a job they excel well in because of their warm nature, because of their friendly nature. So you see that a lot of phlegmatics are doing jobs that they could relate to people and then enjoy the people around them because they love being around people.
Okay, so if I am a phlegmatic, looking at some of the struggles you've mentioned earlier, how can I come out? Pastor?
Okay, so then again, like the melancholics, it takes time for phlegmatics to come out of their shells. So you need to, permit me to say, pet them, befriend them, and let them see clearly that they have the abilities. We mentioned earlier that the melancholics do not have a right concept about themselves. So are the phlegmatics as well. Sometimes they feel they cannot do it. So if you get someone that can pep talk them and help them out of their shells, I think it helps. And one of the things that helps, again, is the teaching. Once they step out and begin to teach, then they are able to come into the social space and they can take on other responsibilities aside the teaching. It works well for them. Let's not forget that phlegmatics are already in their caves. So if you do anything that will push them down further, it becomes very difficult for them. You can insult somebody in the extroversial area and they can walk away. But if you insult a phlegmatic, you say something demeaning, it can take years to overcome. Not forgetting that when they offend you and they say, I'm sorry, it will take many days, so many days to be able to overcome, get out of that remorseful state and get back to their sense and work. So when they offend you, you would have to forgive quickly and show to them that it's okay. It's human nature. You know, because they want to they don't want to offend anybody. Yeah. So you have to show to them that it's human nature. You are okay. You don't even feel offended. You know, because sometimes if they don't offend you, they feel that they have offended you. So that these are some of the ways to get them out of their shells and then begin to push in life.
Okay, Mami Lydia, how do we also manage them? Now, Pastor has taken us through how we can help them. We need to accept them.
Yes.
How do we do that? Because if you are too quiet, then people will be like, you are too quiet, you are anti-so, you are that. So we will normally leave you at your corner. Sometimes we disrespect them. Yeah. The fact that they do not want to hurt anybody. In our local parlance, we will say, Sebi, Jimmy for sometimes. But actually they are not.
They are not.
Because of the peace-making nature that they are. Mm-hmm. How should we manage them?
So in managing them, we should not forget that even though they are peaceful and they want to be in their corner, and Sebi, we'll call them as Jimmy people, they are a powerhouse. They are very intelligent people.
Please say that again. They are powerhouse.
Yes. Yes.
So say it again for me.
They are powerhouse,
mm-hmm.
and they are very intelligent people.
Mm-hmm.
And the most productive employees are phlegmatics.
So if you are phlegmatic, please clap for yourself there. Yes, you are. So now continue. Continue, Mami Lydia, because you are one. Okay, well done.
So in managing them, you need to empower them. Tell them that's okay. It's okay to make a mistake. You need to be always explaining things to them. It's okay to make a mistake. When you make a mistake, we will support you. They need to know that there is some form of support for them. And then on the tax, when you are managing them, you need to give them deadlines because they procrastinate a lot.
You didn't say that one. Tell me more. Why? How come?
They procrastinate a lot.
Yes. How come?
They work under pressure.
Oh, so they love working under pressure.
They love working under pressure.
Yes.
So I can give a typical example of a committee that was set up in my church.
Okay.
Tell me more.
And 3 people formed the committee. We had 2 months to prepare for a program for our pastor's send-off. And one was a sanguine who was so happy that he or she has been assigned that role. And 2 of us were phlegmatics.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we were in our own corner, waiting for somebody to push us.
And push you. Oh.
Waiting for somebody to encourage us. Mm-hmm. And we knew the program was coming on, but we were there. And the someone too, since he is forgetful, he has forgotten about it until we were given a reminder. So that's why I'm saying for phlegmatics, you need to give them reminders, and you need to give them deadlines. We were given a reminder and a deadline that you need to produce a program outline and a budget on Sabbath. And we were like, wow.
You had not done anything.
We had not done anything. But when the pressure came from the elders and the church board, within an hour, we had a program and budget ready.
Why?
And to tell you, that program was a fantastic program.
Wow.
It was well done. So as I'm saying, they need the push because they lack energy. They tend to reserve their energy. So they will need the push. When you assign them a task, you need to give reminders, and then also you need to set deadlines. Even though you have set deadlines, you need reminders because they procrastinate a lot. And because they are also fearful, when they are working on the task, they look at it, this thing that I am doing, is the person going to accept it? I don't want to offend this person. I want to please this person. You know, they always want to please people. I want to please this person. So we kind of, even though they have finished, they would delay a little, try to read through, get it done, polish it a little bit before sending it. So you need to look at all these things so that you can manage them. And you don't push them too much in managing them. They want to be in their space.
Yes.
So if you push them too much and it gets out of hand, they would be there and they will not come out again, as Pastor said. So you need to be very tactful in managing phlegmatics. So empowering them, encouraging them, engaging them, setting deadlines, giving them reminders, and all that would help in managing someone who is a phlegmatic.
Pastor, you want to add something?
Oh, I think she said it all.
All right.
Except to say that they are seen as dull and also slimy, and because of that, sometimes we want to put them down. But you can take advantage of their ability to see details, the ability to work under pressure, so that they are not so much interested in accolades and clapping, and they don't want that. But the fact that there's pressure and you put him or her on to do it, that alone is enough for them. You know, they are not so much interested in these fanciful other motivations of reinforcement, giving money and whatever. They are not much into that. They just want to see the work done. When you appreciate them with something else, they are okay. If not, the work being done is their real motivation.
So when they see that we are happy, then they are happy.
They are happy.
They're happy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Mami Lady, I want to ask you this question. It's not an interesting question. Which of these temperaments is the best?
All of them.
Why?
I would say all of them, because each of them have their own strength and their struggles.
Okay.
And when you should read or understand them very well, their strength complements their weaknesses.
Okay.
So all are the best. For example, if you have a team, you want to create a team in an organization, there is a project, and you want to create a team, you would love to have all these four in there, because the sanguine person would be the first person to volunteer, would make noise about it. He is optimistic and would push the team to, oh, this is a nice project, to communicate about it, let's do it, this is a nice. And then you would have the choleric, who is the leader, who would stand out, is a visionary, will see that, okay, let's get this done, and will ensure that the project will get done. You would have the melancholic, who would come in there and be the analytical person, the task-oriented person, the planner, who would plan with you, okay, so from here we are going to this, we have to do this, we have to do that, and then it moves. Then you have the phlegmatics, who will take the plan and deliver.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you see that you have all these people in the team, and the task is achieved at the end of the day. Even though the sanguine has the weakness of forgetting about things, whilst he's forgetting about things and making noise about it, the phlegmatic is in his or her own corner doing the job. You understand?
Yes.
While the choleric is looking at the end and all that, the melancholic is in there planning, criticizing how to do it. Let's do it this way, let's do it this way. So you see that it's a whole package.
Yes.
And then it comes out very beautiful.
Wow.
At the end of the day.
Wow. Pastor,
yeah.
Okay, please add something to it.
Yeah, so basically all the temperaments, they are good, except that we must know how to manage them. And if you put them together, then you have a whole that can work and make things happen. Sometimes the difficulty we have is that, to be frank, it's very difficult to live with a melancholic. It's very difficult to live with a melancholic because of the ability to analyze things to certain details. But then if you also accept that person who comes to raise the standard very high, then you will realize that they are also needed. And so also the phlegmatic would sometimes they become lazy. Sometimes they become lazy. Though they will do the work, but they become lazy. And sometimes they also create space for rest. Because the choleric, once this is the objective, has no space for rest. But sometimes the phlegmatic can bring about, a situation, and then the sanguine can create jokes and whatever whilst you're on the work. So all these people are important.
Wow.
How we manage ourselves is the issue.
Pastor, I hear there's a fifth one, a newborn baby. As you wind up, use few seconds to tell us about that.
Okay,
the supine.
Okay, so now we are talking about the supine. Basically, the supine seems to be an all-rounded personality that has bits and pieces of all this. Now, so you say whenever they talk about the supine, if you don't take that, if you're a choleric, you might think that, then I'm a supine. When you're phlegmatic, you might say, then I'm a supine. Because it takes bits and pieces of all that. The major thing about them is that, like the introverts as well, though they have abilities, they don't work as front row people. And they are helpers. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you achieve whatever you want to achieve, even at their expense. They are okay. So basically, this is the supine.
Wow.
They are quite all-rounded. They have bits and pieces of all the other temperaments, and they are good.
They are good.
They are good. They can hardly also define themselves, just like the melancholic, hardly define themselves. So they put their strength into supporting others to achieve success.
Wow.
So you see that sometimes these football coaches and whatever, they fall within that bracket because they are able to manage all manner of people.
Yes.
So just
you're also winding up.
Yes, I'm winding up with a summary of the four.
Thank you very much.
So, given a typical example, let's say we are mentioning names. We are at a high function program, and we are mentioning names of people to sit at the high table, and we omit a name.
Yes.
The person that we omit the name, if the person is a sanguine, the person would gladly walk up to the MC and say that, sorry, gentleman, you missed my name. My name is there. Kindly mention it.
With a title.
With a title.
Okay.
The choleric will go out there very angry and moody. The melancholic would also just go out and moody and would be asking questions and will be finding out reasons why the name was not mentioned.
Wow.
The phlegmatic will just say, oh, thank God my name was not mentioned.
Wow. My lovely viewer, thank you so much. I've enjoyed myself. But hey, I've learned a lot. I know where I belong. I hope you've also been able to fish out where you are. Parents, let's try to see where we can find our children and give them all the necessary support. HRs, bosses, parents, please take time to study us. In actual fact, let's all try to study ourselves.
Yes.
In that case, there will be peace at home. You will learn to appreciate each other and compliment each other and make the world a very peaceful place to live in. Remember, next week, on Temperament, we'll be looking at relationship and marriage. How these temperaments affect, can make, and can also unmake. Never leave that dial on Tuesday next week, and you will be glad you stay tuned. On this note, I say thank you so much for joining. Continue having the discussions at home, at your workplace, wherever you find yourself. Ask your friend, hey, so you, who are you? Who, do you know who you are? Me, I know. You to go and fish out for yours. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and good night. Bye-bye.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church Ghana presents The Coming King, Attend their Bible lecture series from the 12th to 22nd of October 2022, 6:30 p.m. each night.
There is a coming King who has answers to all our challenges and cares in this life. You may have your doubts, but that is why I'm inviting you to join us in the Bible lecture series, where we believe to find answers to our challenges, and your life will not be the same. God bless you.
The Coming King. Attend the Bible lecture series live from